So in previous video, the second part video, we have discussed that we can save 300.25 per week by using the first option for the second alternative. But please bear in mind that for this alternative, where you add another counter, so it will cost you a renovation of 6,000. Okay, renovation cost of 6,000. Okay, so what we can do is that since we can save 300 per week, okay, almost 300 per week, so what we can do is that you just take the 6,000 divided by 300.25. So just imagine that if let's say 1 week you can save 300, so how many weeks that we need to cover that 6,000? So in this case, we have 19.98. So basically around, we can say around 20 weeks. So basically we need around 20 weeks to cover our cost, okay, to cover our renovation cost. So in this case, instead of you can save 300 per week, so for 20 weeks, so almost 5 months, okay, almost 5 months, you cannot see the saving, okay, but after that, then only you can see that you can save 300.25 per week. So after around 5 months or 20 weeks, so you can see that we can cover the cost of renovation. And once the cost has been recovered, so the cost of renovation has been recovered, so now the store would save that we had 300.25 minus 281.25, okay, around 19 per week. This one from the second alternative, the first option. So this one is from the first alternative, where you hire another employee to help the cashier. So in that case, you can save 281. But if let's say you add another counter and hire another cashier, so you can save 300. But ini pun after 5 months, around 5 months, or after 20 weeks, because for that 20 weeks, you need to cover the cost of the renovation. Otherwise, somebody give the money, okay, bagi free je. So in that case, you don't have to consider about the renovation cost. So in this case, katakan you use your own money. So use your own money. So we have to consider that. Okay, so maksudnya that 6,000 renovation, you kena macam rolling dulu for 20 weeks. Okay, so for that 20 weeks or for that 5 months, you don't have any saving, okay, from this alternative. But after that, you can save another 19 per week. Okay, so then we go to option 2. Okay, for this alternative 2, remember, for alternative 2, we need to add another counter, okay, additional counter. But then, untuk first option, kita assume that you add another counter, but at the same time, the queue length is also reduced. Okay, so we make some modification to the value of lambda. Okay, in this case, we cut into half. So lambda, instead of 24, original is lambda equals to 24, but we cut into half. Okay, make it lambda equals to 12. So now, alternative 2 for the second option, this is the counter. So this is the queue, and you simply add another counter. So this is the example of multiple server. This is not a single server anymore. So consider this as a multiple server, because we only have one queue and we have more than one server. Okay, so when we calculate using the multiple server model, so your lambda will remain to 24 per hour, and the mu remain the same, 30 per hour. But now, since we are using the multiple server, so you kena tahulah what is the number of server that we have. So in this case, we just assume that we have to server. So C equals to 2. So for this option, we will use this parameter. Okay, so please recall that our aim now is to calculate WQ because we want to know the average waiting time in the queue. Okay, because we want to reduce this. So this is multiple server. So in order to calculate WQ, we have to start calculate from P0. Okay, so substitute the value in the formula P0. Okay, remember this is for multiple server. So you have P0 equals to 0.4288. Okay, so after calculating P0, in order to calculate WQ, okay, so WQ is equals to LQ over lambda, or satu lagi W minus 1 over mu. Okay, so you kena cari LQ or you have to find W. Okay, in order to calculate WQ. So let's say I use the first formula. So now I need to calculate LQ, but in order to calculate LQ, first you need to calculate L. So L, substitute all the formula, so we have 0.9525. Okay, then you can get LQ, where LQ equals to 0.1525, and finally your WQ will be 0.00635 hours. Okay, convert into minutes, it will be around 0.381 minutes. Okay, so we already have the value for WQ, so now we can calculate the saving, okay, if we use this option. Okay, so originally we have 8 minutes, okay, from the first situation, okay, the first example, we have 8 minutes. Now, after choosing this option, WQ is only 0.381 minutes. So basically, we can save 7.619 minutes. And for every minute that we save, times with 75, so now we can save 571.425, or simply 571.43 for that week. Okay, but remember, when you add another counter, of course you have to pay for the cashier. Okay, so when you pay for new cashier, so this 571 you minus with 200 per week for the cashier. So now we can save 371.43 per week. Okay, so in order to cover the cost of the renovation, 6,000, the cost of renovation, so you take 6,000 divided by the value that we can save, 371.43, okay, per week. So you get 16.15. So we can say around 16 weeks. Okay, so if you don't have, if you have the money for renovation for free, so you can save from the beginning, you can save 371.43 per week. Okay, but now, if let's say you use your own money, so you have to cover that expenses. So we need around 16 weeks or around 4 months in order to cover the cost of the renovation. But once you have covered the cost of the renovation, so now we can save around $90 per week. Okay, so this is the value that you can save every week, okay, using the second option, okay, from the second alternative. And this one is when you are using the first alternative, where you just hire another employer to help the cashier for packing. Okay, so in summary, we can say that as the management or as a manager, you can choose whether you just want to, obviously from this example, we can say that alternative 2 is better than alternative 1, where in one you just hire another or hire new employee, but for second alternative you add another counter. But when you want to add another counter, dia tengok juga whether you want to add and change the queuing model, or you just want to add the counter and proceed with the single model. So all this decision will be based on the management.